I'm in search of a sweet spot. Actually, I'm in search of a couple sweet spots. I'm going to be telling you what that means, what those sweet spots are, right after the break. Stay tuned. The sweet spot. That magical place where you live in the mama bear moment, where the porridge isn't too hot or too cold, the bed isn't too soft or too hard, where form and function of a mechanical device comes together in the perfect compromise to meet your needs and your desires. Sweet spots, well, it's a happy place to live. And it's a happy place to ride a bike too. So I'm chasing a couple different sweet spots. We're talking about a gravel bike wheel and tire combination that'll meet 90% of my needs. That sweet spot that allows me to have one tire and one wheel set that will be 90% effective as the way I've been doing it now, which has been two different types of tires, different sizes, different tread compounds or tread patterns, and two sets of wheels, alloy of different width rims. And I've been switching back and forth between the two depending upon what the ride is like. If the ride has maybe a lot of climbing in it, the surfaces are smooth, there's a lot of pavement, I'll run the narrower wheel set with a faster tire, like a fast 38 or a 40, typically a 40, like the WTB Vulpin, one of my favorite tires in that size. If the day is a little bit bigger, I'm gonna run the 25 millimeter internal width rim. Both of these are Hunt alloy wheels, which I'm gonna have, I've got a whole season on them now. I'm gonna be reporting on those soon, but not quite yet. But if the day was gonna be a little bigger, a little harder dirt, a little more rough and ready, I would run the wider rim with a bigger wheel, usually a 42 to a 45. And that's actually worked pretty well. But it's also a little bit of trouble, isn't it? You know, switching wheel sets, maintaining the sealant in two wheels, you know, you've got to buy extra set of rotors, you got to buy an extra cassette, and on and on and on. If I could find one set of wheels and one tire that would do most of that well, with as little compromises as possible, for me, that would be a sweet spot. And I think that's what I'm chasing. And I'm starting that in this video. Now let's talk tire size. This is a 42 millimeter Wilderness Trail Bikes Resolute. I think for me, this is quite possibly the perfect size tire. So where I live, a 40 is the minimum, I think, to enjoy as a gravel bike tire, unless you just tiptoe through the rocks and the sand. But honestly, that's getting the very minimum in volume to work well for Southern California, because the roads here, the dirt roads, are so bad. But this 42, that's pretty sweet. It's actually more like a 43, and on a wide rim, it's getting closer to a 44. Not too heavy a tire yet, and it rolls fairly well, actually. Maybe not ideally well, but I could live with it. So what about a bigger tire? Bigger tire than this, well, the weight starts to go up pretty quickly, doesn't it? In a 700 by 45, for instance, you're getting over 600 grams typically at that point. That's getting to be a fairly heavy tire. I do too much steep climbing, too much roady work on it. I don't want to drag that big a tire around, and I don't need that most of the time. So I'm gonna say, for me, around a 42, if I can get it, that is probably my sweet spot. Now the problem with that is there aren't a whole lot of 42, 700 by 42 tires in gravel out there. Now I've identified 3. I have a sample of all of them. And actually I've identified 4, but 3 right now is what I've got. I'm gonna be going through them one at a time. Now, along the way, if you're gonna add weight in your tire, Where can you take the weight off? Because if you want to keep a light wheel, light wheels feels really good, right? A light wheel tire combo, that's pretty enjoyable. Well, the only way you can take it off is in the wheel. Now, I've been running these Hunt aluminum alloy gravel wheels, 2 sets of them. And like I said, I got a full review coming up on these. These have been really good. I've been running these now for a full season. But if you're really trying to get something light, there's really only one word for that, and that's carbon. Something like this. This is a WTB CZR I-23 in a 700C. I don't know how you say CZR. I don't know if it's Caesar, Sizer, Kazur. Maybe it's just CZR. I'm just going to say CZR until I know better because I have no idea how you're supposed to say that. So if I'm going to add a heavier tire, let's take it off in the wheel. Makes sense, right? After all, doesn't everybody love carbon wheels? Aren't carbon wheels just the best thing ever? Aren't aluminum wheels just for recycling, right? Well, yes and no. Because I'll tell you what, I haven't ridden these yet, so I'm not talking about these yet. I've had 3 circumstances where carbon wheels disappointed me, either for a road bike or a gravel bike, where I felt like I lost as much as I gained. I gained response, I gained that quicker acceleration, especially under hard efforts. I gained that amazing sense of your bike just being absolutely in tune with you on high, on fast paved descents and whatnot. But what I lost was a lot of ride enjoyment because the ride got so much stiffer that it took away a lot of the pleasure of riding for me. And in the end, I didn't feel like what I lost was worth what I gained. Not for me, at least, anyway. Now you can say, well, Granny Gear, dude, man, just drop some air out of your tire and then that stiffer wheel, you won't even notice it. Well, there's some truth in that. You certainly can drop air pressure in your tire, maybe 2 pounds, maybe 4 pounds, whatever it takes to get your ride quality back. But this may be a radical opinion, but I don't think my wheel should be determining what air pressure I run in my tires. Because there is a point, if you spent some time riding your bike and the conditions you ride in, that you found that ideal tire pressure for the tire you're using, the conditions, your weight and all that. So now, all of a sudden, we've introduced a wheel that is very, very stiff to the point where you're having trouble, maybe, you're bouncing around, you feel like your wheels aren't tracking on the rough ground like they were, you're not enjoying your ride as much. So you say, well, I'll drop 3 or 4 or 5 pounds or whatever it takes to get that ride back. Well, maybe now your tire is running under pressure for your ideal weight. And so now you've introduced maybe some drag that you didn't want. Maybe it doesn't corner as solidly as you want it to anymore because now your tire isn't at that ideal pressure. No, I don't think my wheel should determine my tire pressure. I think I should determine my tire pressure. So we shall see. We shall see when I get this out on the road here or on the trail. This one was hand-built by Hans. You know what? I've really enjoyed Wilderness Trail Bikes products. And this is a good-looking wheel, I have to say. So we will see how it treats me. I'm going to start off with the Hunt I'm going to start off with this combination, with this tire and this Hunt aluminum wheel, because I know it. I know what it's going to ride like. I know what it's going to be like. From there, I'm going to take this tire and I'm going to put it on this rim. And I'm going to see if I notice a difference. Now, I will notice a difference, I think. What will it be? Will it be positive, or will it be negative, or will it be a mixture of both? And is that going to be okay with me? We shall see. I have high hopes for it. I don't know yet. I'm going to find out. When I do, I'll let you know. And after that, after I figured that part out, I'm going to start introducing the other tire samples I have one at a time, and we'll see if one of those tires and this wheel combination is that sweet spot that I am looking for my one wheel, one tire combination to do 90% of my gravel bike riding. We shall see. I'm going to take you along with me. If it interests you, you know what? I'd love to have you as a subscriber. And if you've enjoyed this video, hit a like button, because that seems like what everybody's supposed to do. I don't know. In any case, I'm looking forward to the journey with you guys. I think it's going to be fun. Coming up, I'll be doing another Sweet Spot series when I get my road bike parts in. That, I think, is going to be a really interesting journey, because I have been an absolute pain in the butt regarding finding a road bike that I love. Until then, you guys take care. Granny Gear out. For Old Guy on a Bike. Go get a good ride, and today enjoy your life, you guys. Take care.